What's up and welcome back. I was recently able to purchase this small triangle padlock. It's in pretty tough shape, but I thought it would be a pretty good candidate for cleaning up. It doesn't have a key and it's all seized up, so I don't feel too bad about seeing what I can do with it. Trying to learn from it and possibly copy it in the future. So I've been seeing a lot of people trying evaporust to clean up some metal stuff. I've never used it before and I thought I'd give it a try. I had found a big, super crusty horseshoe in my shop digging around. And I thought that would be a good candidate as the condition of it was really bad. And I tried doing some quick Google searches and I really couldn't find other people trying it on something super rough. I'm sure they're out there, I didn't find it. This is the horseshoe after I soaked it for a little over 24 hours, I'd say maybe 30 hours, I'm not sure exactly. And you can see it's still pretty crusty. It did help some. I know it's in rough shape, but at least I was able to sort of see what it might do to something that's old and in pretty tough shape. So here's a closer look at this little lock. It's pretty small. It's not in the worst shape, but it's definitely kind of crusty. I had kind of shaken it out some and picked away at it a little bit, and it was full of dirt, so I guess it must have been buried. You can see I've picked in there a little bit. When I had originally got it, you couldn't even see this little separation here in the shackle, so I thought it was permanently locked. It turns out it's not locked, it's just permanently seized. I believe that little void there is where the bolt would engage with the shackle to lock it. So I think if I can get it loosened up, I can swing that shackle open. I don't have a key, and like I said, I got it for pretty cheap, so I think it's going to be a pretty good candidate for playing around with and hopefully learning some stuff. So that's why I'm making this video, because I thought I would bring you guys along with me and you can learn with me. So at this point I'm going to soak it in the evaporust. I'm not sure how long I'll soak it for. I guess I'll just have to keep an eye on it. It doesn't seem like you can over soak this stuff. Like it's supposed to only attack the rust, so it's not like acid where I have to keep an eye on it so that it doesn't just eat away at this whole thing. Though, depending on how the evaporust does, I may put it in vinegar. We'll see. I'd like to get it to open. I'm not sure how long I'll soak it for. I'll just have to keep an eye on it, I guess. So the lock's been soaking in the evaporust for pretty close to 12 hours. As you can see, the evaporust has turned pretty dark. You can just barely make out the lock in it. If I take the lock out, you can see it's cleaning it up some. I think I could clean up some more, so I think I'm going to swap out the evaporust for some stuff that's a little fresher. I was looking at the lock and it's pretty dirty looking, like it's just got a bunch of maybe dirt, I'm not sure. And so rather than soaking it again, I'm going to try to clean some of the crud off. I just got like this tiny piece of steel wool. I'm trying to not scrape it too much, but just trying to get all this, like there's like this white looking crud on it. I definitely started to notice something interesting. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but right here by my thumbnail, it looks like brass or something. So that could be remains from this possibly being brazed body. So that's pretty cool that I'm starting to see some of that. So hopefully I can keep cleaning this up and finding some more signs of construction like that. And hopefully I'll be able to get the shackle open. So we'll see. So check this out. I was just messing around with it, trying to get the shackle open again, and I finally got it. It's been soaking in evaporust for a while. I did actually off camera soak it in some vinegar, and I heavily scrubbed the thing. So after soaking for a while, I messed with it some more, and I finally got the shackle open. I'm super excited about that. So now that it's open, I'm soaking it in this evaporust again. I think it's pretty well shot, but I'm just going to try to let it clean up a little bit where it couldn't get into before because the shackle was closed. So here's the triangle lock, as clean as I could get it. Cleaning up actually showed me a lot about this lock. I haven't learned quite as much as I would have liked. I was able to get the shackle open, which is good. But it's such a small lock that I really can't see down inside there. Especially because the bolt doesn't move. That's completely frozen in place. I'm not sure how well it shows up on camera, but pretty much every seam on this thing has copper in it. But I'm not sure how well you can see like every one of those seams has it. One neat thing I was able to find is right here. I don't know how well you can see, it's hard to see even in person. And right here in these corners, there are little, that one you can see maybe, little tiny tenons. So I've been taking a closer look at this lock and trying to study the construction of it. I'm not sure how well you can see in the camera here, but there's kind of like 9 parts. There's the cover here for like the keyhole. Then there's 2 plates, one there, one there. And there's the center part. There's one here, one here, one here, and then 3 on this side again. Now obviously this piece here, that's the center. And then on the 2 sides of it, I believe, are the frame, and those are connected to the 2 sides of the hinge that hold the shackle. On the end of it here, you can see that the side is a separate piece as well. So there's this piece on the outside of the hole here for the shackle to close, and then there's another piece outside of that. I'm not sure what holds this outer side on. I mean, I know it's brazed, but somehow it needed to be held together to be brazed. Now, as I stated before, you can see one of the posts here, and there's one in the corner here. I can't tell how the bottom was attached because I don't see a tenon like I do in these corners. There may be one underneath this plate here, I'm not sure. But again, I don't know what held this plate on because I can't see a rivet. A rivet head. Doesn't mean it's not there, but I can't see it. Now inside the lock, that's the bolt. And it is sitting a little low, so it's not directly touching the centerpiece. And again, these are the sides that I think are the same as the hinge for the shackle. I think the bolt is as wide as these first plates outside this part of the frame. And then there's this outer plate here that has the tenon head in it. So I'm thinking that this inner layer here must be open in the center, so from this face. And I can see from these frame sides, I can see a mass inside below it. So I'm thinking that these 3 pieces are riveted together on each side, and it looks like the bolt stops at that mass inside. So there's the cover plate, then there's this, I guess, side of the frame under the plate that I think the bolt is riding underneath, and then there's the frame with the shackle hinges, and then there's this centerpiece here. This piece in the center here too, it ends right here at the shackle, because under the shackle hinge here, it drops down. Again, there's a space though between it and the bolt, so I think that's just kind of there to close things up. There must be some sort of a retainer underneath the bolt. Again, I can't tell how that might be joined in here, that may be riveted underneath this plate. I'm not sure. And I could shine up my flashlight on my phone in through the keyhole and in through the hole up here, and just ever so slightly see inside of each of these to get an idea of a little bit of things, but it looked like I could maybe see the retainer for that bolt, and it maybe ended around here-ish. It's really hard to see though. And I can see the bottom leg of the bolt here where the key would engage, and then it looks like the spring is over here. I'm not sure which way the spring kind of flexes or anything. It's really hard to see it. I can't tell if there's any warding inside. Again, this thing is so rusty that there may have been, and I can't tell, or I just can't see. It's really hard to tell. But I know that everything's brazed together. I believe there's a brazed seam here and one here. And I know that on some of these locks, the mechanisms are loaded in from the side. So I don't know if, because there's those two seams, you can kind of see the brass creeping around the edge of that corner right there. So I don't know if this side is kind of chased on from these two parts of the frame. So that's the most I've been able to figure out on the construction of this thing. If you guys know anything about these kinds of locks and their construction, I'd love to know about it, so feel free to comment. There's a good shot of all the different layers. I feel like you can maybe see them best from the top here. Another thing I noticed, the rivet here for the shackle, I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but around the perimeter of it I can see a little bit of brass, or copper rather. So I'm guessing that the whole body must have been brazed together before the shackle was put in, because otherwise I don't think it would turn, because it would have gotten brazed closed. So I think that little bit of brass or copper around here must have been plating from brazing the whole thing, and then that's just kind of left over. So when this rivet was put in, that outside of the hole was already plated. That's my guess. Yeah, so like I said, if you guys know anything about these kind of locks and their construction, I'd love to hear about it. I'm going to keep looking at this thing, trying to figure some more stuff out. And in the future I want to make some. But again, I thought I'd share this process with you guys, kind of show you what I've learned about it, been able to figure out about it. Thanks again for watching. If you like this type of video, let me know in the comments below. Also consider giving it a thumbs up, as that really helps me out. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to my channel so you can keep up to date on current videos. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.